So, something or a person that many people have heard of, but quite famous in China. An actress by the name of Zhu Xing, or Teng, or Zheng, or something like that. Don't know how you pronounce it. But, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When famous people die of alternative, when they go for these alternative treatments, convinced that it's going to work for them, they die, it gets reported on, it brings awareness to it, good. When someone less famous, like Jennifer Fruehlich, dies, who was, quite frankly, pretty much a nobody, never gets reported on, never gets brought up. But this one's quite important because in China, traditional Chinese medicine still has quite a stranglehold on sort of the areas, particularly really the rural areas. Maybe not so much the highly modernized, but in between certainly. But even in those areas, people still believe in Chinese medicine, even though, again, it's been proven, hey, Chinese medicine doesn't work. And so this actress got cancer. I don't know what type of cancer it was. The article just says that she had cancer, so I was going to tell you what her survival chance would have been if she'd have gone Western medicine. But again, people kept on saying, don't do this, Chinese medicine doesn't work. And it started an interesting debate in China whether or not they should start to abandon these practices, which, to be honest, would be a good step forward for China. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was her reasoning, because this reasoning you see all the time in these types of cases. Why didn't she go the Western therapy route? Now, her reason was that she'd had a friend who'd gone through the chemotherapy before, and basically she didn't want to go through that same amount of pain. Now, from being diagnosed to her death, it was about 6 months. So that really, for her, when, again, she had an opportunity, she didn't take it, and, as a result, she ended up dying, which, again, is the greatest shame, I think, in this tragedy. But, again, her reasoning behind this was absolutely 100% faulty. And this is what I've always wanted to try and get at to people in my channel. Anyone who supports the alternative therapy or these medicines, your idea and your reasoning behind them is completely wrong and faulty. Science does not support you, and the people that do support you, if their treatment fails for any reason or you die, then they throw you under the bus. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these practitioners, like, she did cupping as one of her treatments, by the way. It wouldn't surprise me if they went, they'll find some reason to throw her under the bus. We see this all the time with these alternative practitioners who do this. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the same that these practitioners are doing now in China, because, hey, there's a very clear evidence that her, these alternative treatments that they said that they were promising to her would work. Even she was convinced that these alternative treatments would work. Didn't work. And to them, that's a massive undercut to their business. So of course they're going to try and find a way to, dismiss this. And I want to go back to, again, her reasoning, because this is the part that actually kills people. This is the reasoning that kills people. And that reasoning is that for whatever reason, whether it be they've had a family member go through chemotherapy, they are a believer in the woo, or they just for some reason think that chemotherapy doesn't work, then this stuff happens. People end up dying from it. And this is what I always tell people. You know, we'll go, oh, alternative therapies, you know, it doesn't matter, let them do what they want. But the problem is that this happens. People then die because, you know, at the end of the day, it was their own fault for going down this route. But if they'd have the information, they wouldn't have gone down that route. There's a chance today she might be alive today. Who knows? She might have died, you know, maybe a year and a half later of cancer. She might have gone on to live. We don't know, unfortunately. But, you know, that's the risk that you take when you go down these alternative routes. It's not proven to work. There is no evidence at all to support the claims that they make. And at the end of the day, it's risking your life.